Moving on now to our other big story on the buck stops here tonight, the Uttarakhand Game of Thrones. Tomorrow there was meant to be a floor test that the Harish Rawat government would have had to face. But the centre appealed that decision, and now a larger bench of the High Court has ruled that there will be no floor test. There's a stay on that. So has the first round gone to the centre in what's an extremely murky power play in Uttarakhand? On our panel today, GVL Narasimha Rao of the BJP is still with us. From Dehradun, Kishore Upadhyay, the president of the Congress in that state, is also with us. Prashant Bhushan and Meghnath Desai is also with us. Kishore ji, आपसे पूछती हूँ सबसे पहले, आप मानेंगे कि आज के फैसले के बाद जो एडवांटेज है वो बीजेपी के साथ है? Is the advantage now with the BJP?
नहीं बरखा जी, देखिए हम जो हमारे न्यायालय हैं
जी,
जो हमारे संवैधानिक जितनी संस्थाएं हैं, हम उनका बहुत आदर करते हैं। उनके जो भी निर्णय होंगे वो हमें शिरोधार्य होंगे। उन्होंने कोर्ट ने जो कुछ भी किया है या कहा है, क्योंकि ये दोनों पक्षों को सुन करके उनके एग्रीमेंट से उन्होंने ये निर्णय लिया है और ये बीजेपी के पक्ष में या कांग्रेस के पक्ष में बात नहीं जाती है। ये निश्चित रूप से भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने जब यहाँ पर लोकशाही बहाल होनी थी, प्रजातंत्र बहाल होना था, तब कुछ ना कुछ वो ऐसा कर देते हैं। जैसे राज्यपाल जी ने 28 तारीख के लिए कहा, उन्होंने जो है वो राष्ट्रपति शासन लगा दिया। माननीय उच्च न्यायालय ने कल के लिए कहा, तो वो एक पूरी फौज दिल्ली से वकीलों की ला करके हाई कोर्ट में, और आप जानते हैं कानून में बहुत सी चीज़ें होती हैं, उन्होंने उसको उलझाने का काम किया है। लेकिन अंततः इसका नुकसान भारतीय जनता पार्टी को होगा। उन्होंने उत्तराखंड में देवभूमि में लोकतंत्र की हत्या की है और हत्यारे को जनता अपने आप सजा देती है जब समय आएगा।
GVL Rao, this is an interesting question about the timing. Why was it necessary for the cabinet to recommend President's rule on the eve of what was meant to be a floor test? The Congress is absolutely answerable for the factionalism in its own backyard, for a sting operation that insinuates corruption. I accept all of that. But the timing, on the eve of the floor test, why would you move towards President's rule? Some have said this is the Congressization of the BJP that's complete. The Congress used to misuse President's rule. Indira Gandhi was notorious for it. Now the BJP is going down the same path.
I think that's a very incorrect analysis and assessment, Barkha, for the simple reason that in the intervening period, from the day Governor had asked the Chief Minister to prove his majority on the floor of the House, and the day the floor test were to happen, there are certain developments that have really that can only be construed as an attempt to murder democracy and manufacture a majority, non-existent majority. On the one hand, you have Chief Minister indulging in the obscene act of bribing or trying to bribe his own MLAs and to get their support. On the other hand, you have the ham-handed decision of the Speaker on the eve of the trust vote to expel these MLAs without any rhyme or reason. On what ground did he dismiss them? So he was trying to prove a majority in a truncated house. In a very manufactured and a very diabolical manner. So the constitution had come to a standstill.
Let me get quick reactions from Meghnath and Prashant on this. Prashant, the Congress's house is certainly in a mess. If the Congress could hold itself together, this would not happen. The sting operation also raises questions about the probity of how the Rawat government is trying to cobble up a majority. But there is also questions of probity on whether President's rule should be used like this.
No, absolutely. You see, while the Speaker, in my view, was not correct in suspending or disqualifying these 9 rebel MLAs,
was not correct.
Was not correct because, strictly speaking, he can only disqualify them.
Absolutely
in my view.
wrong.
Kishore ji, 1 minute. Kishore ji, 1 minute.
In my view, he can only.
Kishore ji, 1 minute rukiye.
He can only disqualify.
I will allow you, but you must let others speak. Kishore ji, just okay, 2 seconds.
Please.
2 seconds. What are your 2-second intervention? Kishore ji.
Yeah, may I speak?
Yes.
Mr. Both the panelists, they are challenging the law enacted by Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee. They are questioning the authority of a constitutional institute, Speaker of Vidhan Sabha.
Okay. Let Prashant complete his point and you can react then. Let Prashant complete his point and you can react after that. Prashant.
So, disqualification is incurred when you vote against whip or when you voluntarily leave the party. I don't think the occasion for that had arisen as of yet.
Okay.
Therefore, but even if the speaker wrongly disqualified them, the response to that is not president's rule. The response to that would have been to challenge the disqualification in the court. In any case, what the High Court, single judge of the High Court had done was perfectly the legitimate thing.
Are you surprised that the court has ruled in two completely different ways in two consecutive days?
Yes, I am surprised and I am unhappy with the division bench staying the order of the single judge, who had given a perfectly correct order saying that have a floor test, count the votes of these 9 people separately, come back to me, and then the issue would be decided. The correct way of resolving the issue would be, these 9 people should be allowed to vote. If the government falls as a result of that, the government may fall, but if they vote against the whip of the Congress party, they stand disqualified. Thereafter, with these 9 people standing disqualified, you have to assess who has the majority in the remaining house. That would be the correct way, and that is what the High Court was perhaps heading towards. But it is unfortunate that the division bench has stayed that.
Meghna.
You know, I'm very troubled. I'm not a lawyer, but I'm a legislator. I'm very troubled that again and again in India, the executive makes some decision, the president signs something, and then the court says, we will not have this, especially on the judicial appointment thing. I was very surprised that on a thing that concerns the Supreme Court itself, the Supreme Court could rule an elected government's decision to be unconstitutional.
No, but what do you think should happen in this case?
Now, in this case, I think they should dissolve the thing and have new elections.
Dissolve it and have fresh elections. GVL Rao, but the point is that even your own ally Shiv Sena, if you saw the Samna editorial, is saying that this is absolutely wrong, and next you're going to target Himachal Pradesh. This is not me saying it, this is not the Congress saying it, this is the Shiv Sena saying it. That first Arunachal, now Uttarakhand, maybe next Himachal Pradesh.
Fine, I think this is a cabinet's collective decision.
But this is your ally. This is your ally alleging that you are resting power in states. You are resting power. This is Uddhav Thackeray saying this.
Fine, but what I'm saying is they are a part of this government, and all the collective responsibility of the cabinet has, in its collective responsibility, has taken a decision. We certainly think their view is not in order with the views of the government. I think I don't need to say anything beyond that. I think if this is a decision collectively taken by the government, I think they are also a party to it. Whether they agree with it or otherwise, they are a part of it.
But GVL Rao, there is a perception that you've done this in Arunachal, you've done this in Uttarakhand, that there's a pattern to it, that you're seeking to break the Congress. Yes, the Congress is answerable for not keeping its party together, absolutely. But you're seeking to tap factionalism in states where you can't win on your own.
I think there is a pattern, not to the central government's imposition, there is a pattern by which Congress leadership in states is losing confidence in Rahul Gandhi and the Congress leadership at the center. That there is clearly a pattern. You've seen that in Arunachal, you're seeing it in, there was Assam unit was filled with this kind of
that's a fair point. That's a fair point. That's a fair point.
So there is a pattern to that. We can't be held responsible. Just one more point.
Yeah.
I think you see at a time when the president's rule, I think I'm not a legal expert, but let me just make one point. Sometimes mere common sense works. I think at a time when there is already a president's rule in the state government stands dismissed. So who will take confidence vote? The government is not in office to take a confidence vote.
That is the argument the Attorney General made today. Yes, that's the legal argument that was made in court today. I'll get Prashant to respond to that, but Kishore Upadhyay on the political question, Vijay Bahuguna has gone on record saying that Rahul Gandhi is an inaccessible leader. The fact of the matter is that you can question the BJP fishing in troubled waters, but the trouble has been created by the absence of your own leader or effective leadership.
बरखा जी मैं बहुत ही विनम्र शब्दों में निवेदन करना चाहता हूं आपसे भी और सभी पैनलिस्ट से। एक तो भारतीय जनता पार्टी को राहुल गांधी जी का फोबिया हो गया है, वो क्यों इतना डरते हैं ये समझ में नहीं आता। मुझे ये लगता है कि जब विजय बहुगुणा जी से उन्होंने बात की तो उन्होंने उनके कान में रट करके यही डाल दिया कि आपको खाली यही कहना है विजय बहुगुणा जी, मैं बड़ा उनका सम्मान करता हूं। वो क्या उनको पार्टी ने क्या क्या नहीं दिया,
वो अलग बात है, लेकिन
लेकिन
लीडरशिप फेलियर तो है कि आपकी पार्टियां पार्टीज टूट रही हैं। अरुणाचल में टूटी, उत्तराखंड में टूटी।
मैं नहीं, वो जो एक ड्रैकुलियन प्यास है नरेंद्र मोदी जी की कांग्रेस सरकारों की हत्या करके उनका खून पीना, उनको खत्म करना, आप जो है जनमत से करिए ना।
थोड़ा
यहाँ
भाषा
उत्तराखंड में चुनाव फरवरी
Kishore ji, aren't you overstating with this kind of language? You know, this खून पीना and all is not necessary in a political conversation. It's not necessary.
Not at all. He is killing the Congress governments everywhere.
Okay, Meghnad.
All
It's your
that
incompetence.
BJP is doing
It's your
is what
incompetence.
Congress used to do.
All BJP is doing is what Congress used to do. So it is the Congressization of the BJP.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, and what it does point out is that there are arbitrary powers given to central government at a time when they really have no reason to do
Okay.
this, and they use 356.
Okay, last comments from everybody. GVL Narasimha Rao, since you said the Shiv Sena is also party to this decision, our information is the Shiv Sena minister was not present at that particular cabinet meeting which recommended President's rule. This is the response coming from Shiv Sena sources.
It does not matter whether a particular minister or representing a party has attended a meeting or not. This is a decision taken by the collective cabinet. It's a decision of this government.
Correct.
I think as long as they are a party of this government, we certainly think they are on board.
Okay, Prashant Bhushan, is there not a valid point to what the BJP is saying when it says if the Congress had a leadership that could hold their parties together, this would not be happening now? It's the second state where we've seen it happen.
Well, that's true, but it also seems to be the case that the BJP is luring, I mean, the same kind of horse trading which they are saying or against Harish Rawat could well have been happening with the BJP to begin with. So, but the main thing that they are doing is that they are disabling the Anti-Defection Act. This is what they have done in Arunachal, and this is what they are seeking to do in Uttarakhand. Because even if these 9 people rebel against the government, they will stand disqualified under the Anti-Defection Act.
Yes.
And after their disqualification, Harish Rawat's government would still have a majority.
Because the strength of the house would reduce.
Yes, because the strength of the house would reduce, he would still have 34 and the BJP would have 27. So, with these 9 people removed, by this president's rule, what they are doing is they are effectively stopping the disqualification of these 9 people. That's what they did in Arunachal as well.
Yeah.
They have stopped the disqualification of those rebels who ought to have been disqualified under the Anti-Defection Act, and now they have formed a government with the support of those rebels, etc.
So you're saying it's a manipulation of the Anti-Defection law.
Yes.
All right, quick last word on that, GVL, rather than we close.
I think there is some confusion about the entire background. I think Arunachal Pradesh MLAs, it's a Congress government in office there, and the majority of MLAs have elected a leader of their choice.
Congress people should have been disqualified.
And in Uttarakhand,
Yeah.
I think that's a, no, the matter has been examined by the court. I think Mr. Prashant Bhushan has some respect for the Supreme Court of this country. So the matter has been examined or is under examination
is still
by the
pending.
Supreme Court.
A judgment on the final judgment is pending,
Wait for the
of course.
court.
Yeah.
Wait for the court.
Okay.
Wait for the court.
Okay.
They had the option to annul President's rule when it was
But
imposed
by your
in the first
action of,
instance. And as
making-
far as Uttarakhand, as far as Uttarakhand is concerned, I wish Harish Rawat were as mature or as smart as Mr. Prashant Bhushan. He should have taken a floor test, allowed them to vote against him. They could have been disqualified when they actually voted against the whip of the Congress party.
Okay,
but
we'll
why
have to-
did they not wait?
Okay, 10 seconds. I really have to close.
No, I agree that he should have waited, but I am saying
think
that
the answer is not
thereafter that
President's
they
rule?
would be disqualified. The answer is not President's rule.
We leave it there. Thank you very much, Prashant, Meghnad, GVL Rao and Kishore Upadhyay, leaving it there on the buck stops here. Taking a quick break. On the other side, the Prime Minister's in Brussels. More on that in a moment from now.